Sorry for being technical, but rules are a set of predefined agreements between parties. These are a set of explicit or understood regulation or principles governing conduct within a particular activity. In the Pro NBA League, however, there are unwritten rules like in other agreements and codes of conduct that don't really need to be mentioned. Hello everyone, and welcome to Sports Surge. In today's video, we'll be taking a close look at the unwritten rules of the NBA. Now is the time to hit that like button, share, subscribe, and ring that notification bell for future updates. High five after free throws. Holding their hands out for high fives after teammates make that free throw is an unwritten rule you might not have heard of. We've seen it time after time and probably also have shown support to teammates when on the court. Well, NBA players in general, along with all basketball players with something on the line, understand that these free throws could actually be a make or break shot that can determine the outcome of a game, thus propelling the team closer to the playoffs, championships, or that lucrative cash prize and bragging rights. These high five boast confidence within the team, as well as adds to the fundamental of support of teamwork. Don't wear a rival's signature shoe. Becoming part of the NBA is one of the most astonishing accomplishments in the world of sports. Tailored beyond just being on the NBA team is getting your very own shoe, which will bring you greater fame. But even if you're able to be on the court with your teenage basketball idol, you wouldn't want to wear his signature shoes. Imagine Kobe wearing Jordans while facing off against Jordan, or playing for the Warriors going up against the Kings while wearing LeBron's shoes. This would spark doubts on loyalty. It would really infuriate teammates. It would decrease team morale, and it might even be bad luck. Back up your teammates in a fight. In the NHL, players are seen brawling. In the NBA, brawling is also something that happens, and the scuffles are getting worse each year. Physical shoving matches, even with some fists being thrown, will naturally happen. One rule when it comes to fighting in the NBA is that no matter what happens, you had better have your teammates back. Your teammates are like your family. And just like Don Vito Corleone said in the classic movie The Godfather, you can do anything, but never go against the family. Matt Barnes in 2013 is known for overusing his mouth and helps his teammates in a scuffle, and he ended up getting fined. After the game, he tweeted, quote, "I love my teammates like family, but I'm done standing up for these dudes. All it does is cost me money," end quote. He then deleted this tweet an hour later. So even though defending his teammates ended up costing him a lot of money, he still understood the unwritten rule and sought other ways to avoid his team from fighting, therefore allowing him to keep his financial rewards. Don't get a rigid triple-double. Scoring a triple-double across the board is one of the best achievements a player can have. In today's generation of players, achieving this is way more common than before. As an example, Russell Westbrook has averaged a triple-double in a 3-year succession. Because of this performance, he has always been in the spotlight and even has the nickname Beastbrook, because he's a point guard that dunks on giant centers as if they were ants, even though he's only 6'4". Players who achieve this status are congratulated by their teammates and fans as well as their opponents. There's only one rule to follow when on the verge of getting a triple-double. Do not feign it. This was the shameful act of Ricky Davis in 2010. In order to get that stat, he forced a missed free throw with the intention to get the rebound. He was expecting to be praised by the players, but his teammates knew that it was on purpose. Then to make matters worse, he failed to get the rebound, thus fell short of completing his goal. Keep up with your hygiene. Keeping up with hygiene is basic for children, schools, employees, and just plain common sense for our health. And even if you have a little problem with your breath or strong body odor when you sweat, usually your colleagues will politely inform you. However, in the NBA, having a smelly body can get you called out and humiliated in some really heartbreaking manners. Markieff Morris mentioned an incident with a rookie while he was with the Phoenix Suns. There was this rookie saying, "I'm not wanting to shower. That shit happens a lot." Another incident was when a rookie said, "I don't use deodorant," and he was like, "Whoa, whoa, whoa, you mean you don't use deodorant? You gotta respect the other players by following hygiene. It's one of the most important things in our profession. It's uncomfortable guarding somebody that stinks," end quote. He continued to explain that while other players will harshly put someone in their place for the lack of consideration, he calmly told his teammate, quote, "Bro, you smell, so it's uncomfortable for us to be around you smelling like that," end quote. Always be mindful of your footing. Injuries can happen anytime on the court. Mostly, these injuries have to do with the player's legs. One of the most common unwritten rules in the league is to play as hard as you can, but make sure you take care of your legs. No legs, no play. Back shots that go up after the whistle. There's this long-standing belief that blocking a player's shot from going in prevents that player from getting any sort of rhythm or mojo. In almost every situation when you see a player go for that layup or jump shot and the whistle blows, the opposing player attempts a block and the shooter still goes for the basket. As an example, in Game 3 of the 2016 Finals, when Steph Curry went for a layup and the whistle was blown, LeBron suddenly blocked it right there and then Mad Dog Curry in a way of saying, "Not today." During the post-game interview, LeBron was asked about it and he said, quote, "When you have the greatest shooter in the world trying to get an easy one, it's our job to keep it out." End quote. LeBron was supported by a teammate saying, quote, "I think as a shooter when you see the ball get wind, you get confidence, you get rhythm." End quote. According to a sports psychologist, taking and making an easy shot after a play promotes positive thinking, combats nerves, reduces anxiety, and alleviates pressure. Don't go for cheap shots. In the 2016 final, it was in Game 4 when LeBron was hit below the belt. That incident made him sit out the next game. Hitting players below the belt is something frowned upon in every sport imaginable, and is only permitted in street fights where someone is being jumped by numerous assailants. In basketball, when this happens, it's considered a cheap shot. Engaging in this behavior will get you a fast-track reputation of a sleazy person for the rest of your career. Respect your teammates' privacy. In today's games, social media plays a major role, especially in the NBA, and millions of people will be quick to read posts and articles filled with rumors, allegations, and assumptions from fans and especially NBA analysts, coaches, and players. Young players have been caught up in engaging in hearsay on social media, and it hasn't come out without repercussions. One example occurred when D'Angelo Russell secretly recorded Nick Young talking about the girls he cheated on and toyed with. A few of the women's names were mentioned, and relationships were broken. It should be basic common sense to respect your teammates' privacy, and somehow, some players need to learn this unwritten rule the hard way. Let the clock run out. Letting the clock run out is another unwritten rule, but this one you might already be aware of. Games in the NBA are decided by the final shots in a great number of cases. In the case wherein the team is leading by a huge margin, the unwritten rule is to dribble the clock out instead of running and making more shots and more scores out of respect for the opposing team and from common sense. Why risk injuries? Why exhaust yourself and your team? So what do you think of the unwritten rules in the NBA? Which of these unwritten rules were you unaware of? And which ones did you already know about? Let us know in the comment section below. And if you're new to the channel, give us a like, as that helps us out a lot. Share, subscribe with the notification bell for future updates and videos just like this one.